Hello everyone, my name is Vidhan Pandya. In this video, I'm going to talk about Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. These are 8 different Bindus. They can be interpreted in different ways. I'm going to follow the definition given by Dr. Paresh Desai. He has written articles in Saptarishis Astrology magazine, and that is the basis of this video. I'm going to take you through some examples, but before going into examples, let's look at what these Bindus are. So as you can see on the screen, there are 8 different types of Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. They are Karma, Sanghaatik, Uday, which is 18th from Moon Nakshatra, Aadhan, which is 19th, Vinash, Maanas, Raj, which is 26th from Moon Nakshatra, and last one is Abhishek, which is 27th from Moon Nakshatra. The brief meanings of them is also given here on this table. Now let's look at some of the examples. So the first example we are going to take is Dr. B.V. Raman. This is his chart, and we know he was a legendary astrologer, written so many books, done a lot of work for astrology, kind of revived the entire astrology. So let's look into his Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. So here you can see in the report section, if you go to the report section of the app, you will find Nakshatra Bindus report. And then on the left hand side, you will find Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus, and then you have also Suryaat Nakshatra Bindus, which is again I'm going to cover in separate video. So here let's focus on the Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. So here we can see that his Karma Nakshatra Bindu falls in the Chitra Nakshatra, which is in the 8th house and the 9th house. Now we all know 8th house is related to occult. 8th house is also related to secret sciences, and he was into astrology, right? He was bringing out the hidden knowledge and then writing books on it. 9th house is the house of learnings or higher education. 9th house is the philosophy. 9th house is also dharma, religion, and so on and so forth, right? So he wrote the books of astrology, which became his dharma, right? And it is the knowledge. 9th house is also for the knowledge. So he expanded that knowledge. He went through different manuscripts. He read different books, and then he did the translation from Sanskrit into English, right? So that's how we can see like how this karma nakshatra is operating in his chart beautifully. Now again there are other nakshatras also, nakshatra bindus also, which are also mentioned here. Each have their own meaning, but some of these meanings are not very clear or not very visible outside, right? So now for example, Abhishek nakshatra, which means public honor. So where he will get public honor? He will get public honor in the areas related to 4th house. So he will get a lot of name recognition, public honor in his hometown, in his home country, right? So he was very famous. People revered him. People loved him. People give a lot of respect to him. So that's how we kind of see. And he also got a lot of medals and recognition from the government and from different bodies. Right? He was also called as Professor B.V. Raman, right? So that's how he used to write his name. Aadhan Nakshatra. So Aadhan means invisible growth, the growth in the areas which is not generally visible or not generally seen very immediately, right? So it takes a lot of time to see growth in those areas. So that falls in house number 12th and house number 1st. Now 12th house is the house of foreign, and 12th house is also the house of expenditure. So and 12th house is also house of secret enemies, right? So there has been invisible growth, the growth which is not to be seen, not to be mentioned, not to be recognized so easily. So that's how we kind of read his Aadhan Nakshatra. It is falling in the 12th house of foreign affairs. Um, so the results of it, like his foreign tours, probably we did not see the results very prominently in his career. And then Sanghaatik Nakshatra is about doing things together, right? So whichever house it is associated with, if you have to really reap the results of that house, you have to work together. You cannot achieve the fruits of that house alone. So that is the key to this Sanghaatik Nakshatra. So that's how we will use it. So we can see here very clearly Karma Nakshatra is Karma Nakshatra. So the Karma Nakshatra basically is your indicates the deeds that you want to complete in this life, right? So this is one of the interpretation of this is reason of rebirth, why the person has taken rebirth, why the person has come into this world. So that can be seen through this Karma Nakshatra. So it's a very important nakshatra. And here in the case of Mr. B.V. Raman, Dr. B.V. Raman, we can see this is clearly telling what was his reason for birth, which was about reviving astrology and making astrology accessible to masses through his books, which were published by different publication houses, and they were read across the country, across the globe, right? And it was about the knowledge. So he was about continuing the tradition of astrology, giving the knowledge, spreading out the knowledge to everyone, whoever wants it. So that was his karma, that was his reason of birth. So that's how we can see it. This is how this Nakshatra Bindus are playing on his chart. Now let's look at some other examples. So we are taking the chart of Shri K.N. Rao. Again, we know Shri K.N. Rao, again a very revered astrologers, very well-known astrologers. He was known for his role in teaching thousands of students in in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan of Delhi, and he kind of revived that institute and made astrology learning accessible to the masses, right? So he kind of revived that institute and helped so many people learn astrology. Did a lot of researches and written a lot of books, and has given lot to the world of astrology. So again, coming back to into the report section, looking at the Chandra Nakshatra Bindu report, and here what we see is his Karma Nakshatra falls in house number 4 and house number 5. So house number 4 is also to be seen for institute. House number 4 is also the house of school, where the education can be imparted. Now it is the house of school, and it can also be considered that his role was to revive Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan and make astrology education accessible for the masses, right? Because he taught thousands and thousands of astrologers in Delhi through this Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. So this Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan link can be seen from the 4th house. What about 5th house? So 5th house is the house of followers. 5th house is the house of your students. So he was teaching people the astrology, right? So this is how, and he was creating his team of teachers who can teach astrology. So those teachers, those followers, those immediate teachers who were working closely with him can be seen from the 5th house. So his job was to revive, create that institute, give the knowledge of astrology to masses, do his research, write books, and then work with his team of fellow astrologers, fellow astrology teachers. So that was his karma. And then if you talk about like the other nakshatras, so you have Abhishek Nakshatra, which is falling in the 12th house. So his public honor was related to 12th house affairs. So 12th house is also house of um, secret enemies, house of foreign. So he got recognition in foreign. He got um, lot of he traveled a lot, um, and then you have Uday Nakshatra, which stands for rise in fortune. So his Uday Nakshatra is falling in the eighth house of occult, eighth house of astrology, eighth house of secret knowledge. So that can also be seen here in this case, um, and so on and so forth for all the other nakshatra bindus. So each of these have meaning, and yeah, this can be applied in multiple ways. So yeah, again, you have to kind of meditate, understand what each house significations are, and what is the meaning of these nakshatra bindus, which is also given in here in this table. And then you can apply it, and then it works very beautifully. Again, I will show you some more examples. So we have seen example of Dr. B.V. Raman. We have also seen example of Shri K.N. Rao. Now let's look at some more examples. Now I'm going to talk about the big B. So here is the chart of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. We all know, we call him fondly as the big B. Now let's look at his Chandrat Nakshatra Bindu. So again, we go into reports, look for Nakshatra Bindu report, and then we have, this is the Chandrat Nakshatra Bindu for him. So here you can see that his Karma Nakshatra falls in the first house. First house is the house of identity. First house is the house of character, your image, your body, your image to the world, right? So this is about how you will be seen in the world, because first house is the house of physical appearance. So he has worked a lot on his own personality, his own self, because that's what he came in the world, and he established his identity across India, across the globe, and he became the big B of Bollywood. So that was his karma, that was his reason for birth. That is why he came into the life, because he wanted to establish his own identity, right? So that's how we apply this. This karma bindu is a very important concept. Again, all the other nakshatra bindus are also important, but this karma nakshatra bindu, I think out of all these nakshatra bindus, I would say this karma nakshatra bindu is the most important, because it instantly tells you what is the purpose of birth, what is the purpose of this native life. And then you have Uday, which is rise in fortune, which is happening in the house fourth and fifth. Fifth house, as we know, is the house of movies, cinema, all the silver screen. It's all in the fifth house. And then we also see his invisible growth is also happening in the fifth house. So which means there is a lot of growth, there's a lot of opportunities of growth in the house fourth and fifth. So again, we know his property. So fourth house is also house of property. So um, we know his fortune. He has accumulated a lot of money. So fourth house is also house of fortune and real estate and so on and so forth. And then other nakshatra bindus also can be used. So let me talk about one another nakshatra bindus. So we have this Maanas as a Chandrat Nakshatra Bindu. Now this is something which is engraved on memory, right? So anything related to house number 7 and 8 will always remain in the native's memory forever. So there are two things which I can say will always remember. He will always remember. Again, I do not know, but there are two important events in his life which I think has defined Amitabh Bachchan and his life. So those two are, he failed as an entrepreneur. He failed, his business failed. When he started ABCL, he could not sustain it. He went into losses and he went into debt, and then finally he has to declare bankruptcy and come out of it. So that was the seventh house thing. I do not know whether he remembers that episode of his life every single day, but that is what this Manas Nakshatra means. So it is indicating that which house related events will always remain in your memory. And then you have eighth house. Remember the Kuli incident? That was a that was an accident which happened, and he almost died during that incident. So it was an unfortunate incident that happened. Because of it, he was almost on the deathbed, and he came out of it even stronger. But yeah, probably that is the incident that he will always remember. Again, I do not know him personally, but if you know him personally, if somebody knows somebody personally, then they'll be able to kind of understand what does this Manas Nakshatra indicates. So that's how we have to apply these Nakshatra Bindus and the meanings which are given here. Now let me take you to the world of astronomy. So from astrology to astronomy, we are going to go and look at the chart of Neil Armstrong, the first man to land on moon, as they say, right? Again, we go look at his Nakshatra Bindus, and his Karma Nakshatra falls in the 12th house. He was the famous astronaut. He was the first man to travel in the space. So his destiny was to be in the space, and space is indicated by the 12th house. Foreign land, space is the subject of 12th house, and we can see here his karma was to be a space, an astronaut. He wanted to be in space. He was the first person to travel to the space. So that's how we can quickly identify, like it's a snapshot, almost a snapshot technique about how do you identify the reason of birth, or what are the areas of the life that a person has to work or has to focus on. And then other nakshatras also. So if you see Vainashik nakshatra here falls in the house 5th and 6th. So any bad transit, any malefic placement of the planet in 5th house and 6th house will result in destruction of the things related to 5th house and 6th house. Again, I do not have the details of Neil Armstrong, what happened with his children, what happened with his enemies, or was his health good and all that, but these are the areas which are your like weak points, which are your weaknesses, right? So that's what this Vainashik nakshatra or Vinash nakshatra tells us, like what are somebody's Achilles heels. So if you don't pay attention to 5th house and 6th house matters, the life can go in a very different way. And then you have Abhishek nakshatra, which means public honor. He will receive public honor related to things indicated by the 7th house. So again, I do not have details about like what does it, like did he ventured into a business, did he whom did he marry, and those kind of things. But if you pay attention to his private life, this will tell you like how did he uh, got the public honor, and was it related to his 7th house significations or not. Now let's look at one last example, and again I'm going to go into celebrity charts. we are going to look at the chart of Albert Einstein. So again, I'm going to go to same Nakshatra Bindu report. These are his Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. So here, what you will notice is his Karma Nakshatra Bindu falls in the 10th house. Now we know that 10th house is about status, 10th house is about work or karma itself, 10th house is about honor, 10th house is about prestige. So he came into the life, he took birth because he wanted to master these significations of 10th house, which is about creating a name for himself, be known in the world for the work that he is going to do, and that's how we know him. So we know Albert Einstein for his inventions, for his researches, for his patents, for all the work that he has done, for be it gravity, be it his theories that he has written on physics, laws of physics that he has written, and so much of scientific research that he has done. So, and that he has done for and he has achieved a lot of name, fame, and status because of his work. So that's what we can see from his Karma Nakshatra Bindu. Again, there are other Nakshatra Bindus also. So fourth house is where his Vinash Nakshatra or Vinashik Nakshatra falls. So that means that means this is his one of the weak areas in his life, and we know the story about Albert Einstein that he has to run away from his country, his motherland, and he settled into the United States of America. So he had to go through some of the challenges related to fourth house in his life. And again, that depends on placement of the planet, placement of the fourth lord in his chart, and then obviously transit and the Shah has to play a role for all these things to happen. And then his Uday Nakshatra, which means where will be the area where his fortune will shine, that is related to second house. So second house matters, which includes name, values, his savings, his wealth, so all his words also. So all these areas are like his second house significations is what will give rise to his fortunes. So that's how we kind of apply these Chandrat Nakshatra Bindus. Again, wanted to cover as much as possible in this video. Hope you like it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the comment section. I'll see you in the next. Bye.